If there's one thing you remember about this card, it's motherly. Hello and welcome back to Tarot Tuesday. I'm Amy the Medium, and today we are talking about the Queen of Cups. Looking at the artwork of this card, what you will see is the Queen herself sitting in her throne, right on the edge of a sea or an ocean. In her hand, she holds a very ornate cup, which has a lid on it. Additionally, she wears a cape or cloak where she sits. And on her throne itself, you see little mermaids that look like small children, as well as fish. You'll see that the sky is clear and that the waves of the ocean are quite smooth. Cups being represented by the element of water, whose focus is our inner emotional state. You can interpret this card quite simply that this woman is a master of her emotions. She knows herself inside and out, and she is literally the queen of compassion and of care. She is quite motherly in her care as well. Like I always mention, when you see somebody represented in a card, especially a court card, it can represent an actual person in your life. And so because the Queen of Cups is seen as very motherly, compassionate, caring, and intuitive, she can be representative of an actual person in your life who has those traits. But it's always important that you pay attention to the spread and to the reading itself, the other cards around it, to know whether this represents somebody else or traits within your own sitter that they should be aware of. As we break the card down, what you'll see is her cape or her cloak itself looks like waves of the water. This again just illustrates even more her connection to her own emotions. The childlike mermaids that you see represent that motherliness as well. The cup itself has a lid on it, which means that she has her emotions well under control. To punctuate that as well, you'll see that she sits right at the edge of the water, but her foot is not actually in the water. Her foot is still on the shore, which means she doesn't let her emotions overwhelm her. She chooses when and how she wants to interact with them. So upright, all about compassion, care, motherly instinct, can represent a person who is a mother or someone who has those traits. But reversed, what this can mean is that you are not in sync with your emotions, that maybe you need to turn your eye inward to understand self-care, self-love. Perhaps there's some bottling of emotions that are happening as well. But overall, this card is all about our emotions, our feelings, what happens underneath the surface. She's a loving and compassionate queen, and I do love when I see this card in a reading because it definitely means that either there's someone in your life who's giving you that level of care, or you are giving yourself that level of care, and it's just quite beautiful. So that is this week's Tarot Tuesday. I hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you so much for joining me every week for these videos. I can't wait to see you next week when we have a new topic.